Trial proceedings continue this morning for eThekwini's former mayor Zandile Gumede and 21 others. The trial is expected to start in March of next year. Gumede has pleaded not guilty to charges of corruption, racketeering, this including the contravention of the Municipal Finance Management Act. eNCA's Siphamandla Goge is on that story and joins us now to give us some context and updates. Siphamandla, good morning to you, colleague. And what's the very latest you can tell us, just in terms of Zandile Gumede, the 21 co-accused, and the context around why they're appearing in court?
It all has to do with the 320 million rand tender located within the Durban solid waste unit of the eThekwini Metro, the only metro in KwaZulu-Natal. It dates back to December 2017 and July 2019. That's the period that the state alleges these crimes were committed. The gist of these charges really center around racketeering, money laundering, fraud and corruption. So who are these accused that we are talking about? They include politicians, one of those being the current chairperson of the ANC in eThekwini region, Zandile Gumede, who is the former mayor of eThekwini. They also include other councillors as well, who are former councillors in eThekwini and some current councillors. But most importantly, they also include business entities, companies and business people who are alleged to have received tenders as a result of political favor and nepotism. The state alleges that the executive authority and politicians in eThekwini municipality came together, formed an enterprise and decided to say, under a special project within the Durban solid waste unit, they need to identify tenders and select companies that were going to receive those tenders. The state alleges that business people paid kickbacks to politicians, including Zandile Gumede, some councillors and officials of eThekwini municipality. One of those officials, of course, is the former city manager, Mr. Siphamandla, who's also one of the accused persons in this matter. Some officials of eThekwini serve within the supply chain unit as well as the Durban solid waste unit. Those are some of the accused persons that are also part of this matter. So you've got three categories of accused. One, politicians, two, officials and administrators, three, business people. According to the state allegation, all of them came together. The politicians are accused of putting pressure on officials to identify tenders and give those tenders to selected business people. In return, those business people and their companies paid kickbacks allegedly to politicians and city officials. Hence, yesterday we dealt with only one charge, which is racketeering. What happened yesterday, the state prosecutor was able to read the indictment, breaking it down, but not much movement has happened in this matter. We only dealt with one charge yesterday, that is the charge of racketeering, whereby the state alleges that politicians, officials and business people formed an enterprise and decided to channel tenders, and at the center of it is about 320 million rand that was given to selected companies and business people. The state alleges that even the ANC in eThekwini region was a beneficiary because one of the business people or companies paid money to the ANC, about 100,000. So we expect that today, when we resume, the state will continue with the reading of that indictment, but there has not been much movement in terms of the charges. Only one charge was unpacked yesterday, that is racketeering, which has got so many counts and alternative counts. In total, in terms of the counts, you are looking at 2,973. Those are not the charges. The charges are racketeering, money laundering, fraud and corruption.
All right, and we understand, of course, that both Zandile Gumede and the other 21 co-accused, their colleague, have pleaded not guilty. We'll, of course, continue the day tracking through developments with you, eNCA senior reporter Siphamandla Goge, out for us in court, tracking this story for us. This is where, of course, we understand that Gumede has pleaded not guilty to those charges that Siphamandla has mentioned: corruption, racketeering. Also, this includes the contravention of the Municipal Finance Management Act.